This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Rikky, Morrisette, Albert Lorenzo, Eddie Costello, LightBlindedFool, and the Amyrlin seat. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Andre M. and Zed to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 3 and 4 of A Crown of Swords.
Yeah, so chapter 3 is Hill of the Golden Dawn, and chapter 4 is Into Cairhien.
Yeah.
And we are doing a slow play to get into the city.
We certainly are.
Let me tell you, we're here. We're in the city. And we're just about to have a really important meeting.
Just about to have something happen.
It's like we ended on a really fast-paced note last book, and we got to slow it down.
Slowly
Slowly.
down.
But on the good, I'm gonna say it. It sounds like we're gonna get some sort of resolution to this whole Colavir situation, maybe, kind of, sort of.
Sounds like
maybe we might see that happen.
We also might see Fael, which is all Perrin cares about. Perrin could give a shit about what's happening. The rest of the world could be in flames.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I don't know if it's admirable and very sweet, or if it's just annoying and stupid.
Yeah, it's Perrin, we get it. Your wife might be dead. Shut it.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. That's
I know she's important to you.
That's my instinct. Well, and you know what? I do appreciate that he's very anxious and in his own head.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I would be. And my anxiety takes over, and I think
Absolutely.
Everybody in my life has died.
Is she dead? Is she not dead?
Right.
Is she dead? I don't know.
My phone call in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's
I
could be
call again.
Could be terrible.
Could be awful.
Or it could just be working. You never know.
But in the context of the rest of the world,
yeah, not as important.
Maybe shut it a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I gotta say it just one more time. Robert Jordan makes you feel the way the character's feeling, and Perrin just wants to get on with it, and it's that's kind of what I want to do in these chapters too. Let's get on with it. Let's get to the royal palace.
Let's stop talking about
getting
on with it, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, okay. But before we talk about it, let's talk about Cairhien, because that's what my fun fact's going to be today.
Sure.
It's a little bit of real-world inspiration for Cairhien.
Grid system. It's a grid system, motherfucker.
2 streets up, 1 street over, you simple bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Is it? That's what your fun fact's about?
No, well, kind of. Okay, so you previously talked about it.
How'd you get lost in New York?
Okay, we got to move. We got to move past John Mulaney. It's not the time for that. You had previously given, I don't know if it was a fun fact or it was just fun information. I don't know if it was an official fun fact.
Probably if it came from me, it wasn't an official anything.
Maybe not, but about the Cairhien flag being basically the Japan flag. Right? The rising sun.
That was an unofficial fun fact.
Yeah, okay. So now we kind of get Cairhien is the Hill of the Golden Dawn, hence the chapter title. That's for Cairhien.
Sure.
That's what it means.
Okay.
And if anyone doesn't remember, the Japanese flag symbolizes the sun because Japan lies at the far west end of the Pacific Ocean, so the sunrises are basically spectacular because the sun rises over the ocean to the east.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
So Cairhien has the flag, which is the rising sun, and it's basically a play off of that. But the fun fact for today is how Cairhien might also be based slightly on Cairhien, which is a town in Wales, which is also situated on a river, because we know Cairhien's situated on the river Alguenya.
Sure is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Cairhien is also important to Arthurian legend and lore.
Of course.
With King Arthur.
Why isn't it?
Okay, so in some tellings of King Arthur, Cairhien is Arthur's capital, and Cairhien is where Arthur is recrowned. And we might just be getting to see a certain someone, right, Rand, being recrowned in Cairhien right away.
I feel that might be a stretch.
No, it's not a stretch. It's the real thing. And then apparently, Cairhien is also a place where Arthur holds court. Nobles gather, and we've gotten that with Cairhien too.
Okay.
There's also a thing with King Arthur and incest happening in Cairhien, but I don't think we're going to get to see that from Rand.
No, but if you go back far enough...
Then maybe kind of sort of.
With Elaine being his cousin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Real far back.
Kind of maybe. It happens.
if they were farmers.
Exactly.
Yeah, or something, right? The woman.
Yeah.
If you were farmers? I don't understand.
I can't even roleplay that in my head.
I can't even make that up. Okay. Now, the last time we were here, we got Perrin's glum view on a pretty miserable situation.
Sure.
A day after the Dumais Wells situation.
Yeah, the Slaughterfest.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Perrin was mopey. That was it.
Yeah.
And then it was time to leave.
And yeah, time to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get some cool little tidbits of information.
Yeah.
Taim's got a new nickname, right?
Time Andred?
No, Mihail.
Oh, my. Well, I thought you meant I
God.
made up a nickname for him.
You know, some things did happen,
I didn't make up that nickname. Someone else in our Discord did. Oh, yeah, Mihail. Right. Okay.
Yeah, you know, some things happen, but that's not important. We can move on.
Okay, I also just paused to look something up because the way you were saying Mihail, it sounds just like Michael. And it's kind of spelled like that, right?
Sure.
And so I looked up the name meaning for the name Michael, and it means who is like God or gift from God.
Oh, interesting.
So not leader.
No.
But
also
Taim
interesting.
thinks that he's a gift from God to everyone.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah. That works. Okay.
It doesn't work at all. It's okay.
It works enough that it could be a fun fact.
Okay. So, Chapter 3, Hill of the Golden Dawn, and the chapter symbol is the Flame of Tarvalin.
Yeah.
Probably because those pesky Aes Sedai are doing pesky things.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things that happened in the last two chapters was we really got to see some of the intro to the relationship with Aes Sedai, and this
how
chapter...
that's going.
Yeah, and this chapter...
And then also some sneaky sneaks Aes Sedai, just like still in Cairhien.
Right, which we got to speculate on, maybe kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay,
I'll make something up on the spot.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to enter into Perrin perspective. A very cinematic opening to this chapter with a big old gateway opening. And you know, for all the talk about words I like...
Sure.
There's a word that's used here that I really don't like.
Oh, I got it. Undulating, right?
Undulating.
Yeah, that's a terrible word.
Ugh.
There's like no reason.
That is a word I do not care for.
There is never any reason to use that word ever in any sentence.
No, it gives a very good imagery, though.
Sure.
Of like what's actually happening.
Not worth it, though.
I hate it. I hate that word so much. Okay, well, anyway. The gateway opens on a hilltop a few miles northeast of Cairhien. And as soon as it opens, a flood of Aiel pour out, and then the 4 Ashermen come through and take up positions around the gateway.
Yeah, they're like secret agent style.
Right,
you know?
And then, the Cairhienin ride through with Rand's banners, and then Perrin comes through with Loyal and Aram and the 2 Rivers men who have Perrin's banners.
Yeah.
Plus, we just sneak in a whole fun Manetheren story retelling.
Yeah, exactly.
And also recap that Elaine is going to take the throne. That's
There's
just
a whole bunch of recap
sprinkled in here.
It's like, if you forgot, the 2 rivers used to be around like Manetheren.
And let me tell you about that for a minute.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not going to do it. If you don't know about Manetheren, go back and read it.
I know. It's like if you just happen to pick up book 7 and you're like, what's this Manetheren thing? Screw you. Okay. Yeah. I have a question. Did you pick up on the size of the gateway?
Yes.
Only for the fact that it's hilarious because of the whole like Matt incident with Elaine. Yeah. Where Elaine's like, ooh, I made a big gateway. And Matt's like, dismount.
Yeah. Yeah. I did actually.
And all these guys are like ducking even though it's like quite big enough to ride under.
Because I wanted to have a conversation a little bit with you
okay.
about how are these men so strong in the power.
Okay, well, it's not like a static thing.
No.
Some men are strong enough, and Deshiva, I think, opened the gateway, so, like, he's, I guess, strong enough.
Do you think because he was taught by somebody who clearly is, like, very good at doing it, and so, like, you have a better idea of how to do it? Because Elaine, from what we know, is strong in the power.
Sure.
She should be able to make a gateway tall enough for...
Okay, so what I'll say to just kind of, like, blanket answer that is, like, people have different degrees of how good they are at certain skills, like talents, right? So it doesn't really matter about strength in the power always. Sometimes it's just got to be about what you're good at. Your talent. Capital T talent. So what you're talented at.
Sure.
So, yeah, some men are going to be able to make bigger gateways, some aren't. That's just how it works. I'm not trying to fool you with anything here. It's just
No,
like...
I know. It just seems like so a little bit off that just like all these random Joe Schmo farmers
Sure,
can just like show up. And I know they're, practicing with the power all the time.
Farmers are people too,
and
Danny.
Okay.
They can do things.
Okay.
But
here's the thing. I get that they are practicing with the power lots and lots and lots, but that shouldn't mean that all of them are just like super strong.
Yeah, but I have a more important question that Perrin brings up.
Oh, yeah?
So we know how gateways are like super sharp and they slice stuff, right?
Yes.
So he thinks about if the edge is just as dangerous when it's like already fully formed.
Open.
Yeah.
Like if you run into
If I run into it, is it like I'm being clotheslined by like a solid bar, or do I just get like cut in half if I like pass my arm through it or something?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. And he doesn't want to try and test it.
No, don't.
Which is like fair.
I'd like throw a stick at the
Yeah,
side
use
of
a
it.
stick and be like, just test it.
I would definitely test that.
I would want to test it just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so there's a whole big procession happening here. Perrin hopes there won't be any more fighting today.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Perrin has a bit of a flashback to a conversation he had with Rand while they were waiting for the gateway to open.
Yeah.
So we say flashback, but this was literally 1 minute ago.
Yeah. Well, maybe like 10.
Oh, okay, because
10
it took
minutes.
a long time for everyone to get out.
Like possibly, yeah. 10, 15, maybe an hour. We're not exactly sure.
Okay.
Deshiva could have been learning the area a little bit, right? So he could open the gateway. So it could have been like an hour or two.
Okay.
It wasn't that long ago.
No. This just happened.
Yeah.
So Rand's like, hey, do you think my enemies have been asleep while I've been away?
Sure.
And Perrin's like, no.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he has a few thoughts on how the Saladar Aes Sedai are riding in the wagons.
Yeah.
And how the prisoner Aes Sedai are all walking, so we get that information.
Yeah.
And then Rand asks the same question of the Ashaman.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. And the older one's like, only a fool would think that.
Yeah, we got Flynn and Grady, so we got to start learning some Ashaman
those are
names.
ones I know. That's Damer Flynn, right?
Yeah.
See, I know that one. And then Jur Grady.
Yeah.
See?
You're getting it. Okay.
Yeah.
Learning names.
Yeah.
Cool.
Those ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're like, you'd be an idiot if you thought they weren't doing something, so.
Right. And then Rand's like, hey, Deshiva. And he's like, what? Huh? What's happening?
He's got his head in the clouds,
Yeah, no.
Also, Perrin, through this chapter, like, the dude pays, like, no attention, and he's also probably crazy. So, because he's got the smell. The smell's going on, where it's like, back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Just like Rand, so.
Yeah. So, is that a crazy thing?
It could be.
Like a taint thing where you get voices talking to you in your head?
I mean, it could be. It could be, yeah, definitely could be. But
and
it's
now, is it random people for other people, or is it their past lives and you can actually start talking to them?
That's a good question.
Or is that just specific to Rand and Luz Theron?
We don't know.
Weird.
We need some more perspectives of Ashaman.
I don't want that.
We need it.
I mean, like, that's pretty interesting.
It is
actually.
pretty cool, yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy with my pronunciation? I'm trying to hard the Ashaman.
It's good. It hasn't bothered me yet.
Okay. I just want to make sure that like I'm putting effort into that.
I appreciate that.
Saying words out loud is hard, and I don't like it. Okay. Anyways. Oh, but I also wanted to see. Did you pick up on what Perrin thinks of Rand's coat?
It's not as nice as his other coats.
Okay, I'm going to read it out to you. So Perrin notes that Rand is wearing a coat of well-cut green wool.
Yeah.
So it's a good coat, but he thinks that it's not like what he usually wears anymore.
Right.
Rand's a fancy boy now.
Yes.
So then Perrin thinks that it's
man.
almost...
Man.
Fancy boy. I'm going to stick with that. Okay. So Perrin thinks that it's almost like Rand had insisted on some silk or fine embroidery, considering how much Rand had the wagons searched from top to bottom yesterday and this morning. So Rand basically had all the wagons torn apart, top to bottom, and Perrin's thinking, oh, it's because he wants a fancier coat, but he ended up with this. So Rand was searching for something, it seems, and Perrin thinks it was clothes.
Okay. I think Perrin's wrong.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. What was Rand searching for?
Galena.
In the wagons?
Maybe. She's hiding.
In a trunk.
Okay, probably not that.
Okay,
but
bad
like,
guess.
Maybe.
Okay, you're sticking with that.
No.
Cool, okay.
No!
Okay, I don't need an answer. I just want you to like pick up on that.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Okay.
I won't.
What is Rand looking for?
More dead maidens.
In the wagons.
No.
For sure.
Terangriel. Angriel?
Okay.
But none that he could use, probably.
Sure.
Those specimen boxes.
Why?
Interesting foliage.
Okay.
Do you think that went back with them? Probably.
Yeah, maybe, and that's what he's searching for?
Okay, I'm over this.
Okay.
I didn't even get to say my funny thing that I had written down about Dashiva, who's not paying attention, and Rand says, hey, do you think my enemies have been asleep while I've been away? And then Dashiva says, I grew up on a farm. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
It is pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like, I like the,
Yeah, he's like, I don't know nothing about enemies.
Yeah.
And then Rand's like, oh, if you stay near
he also
me,
is like,
you will.
Yeah. So like Rand goes full creepy guy. It's like, oh, you will, you will. Also, Dashiva's terrible with his sword, so there's that.
All right, so now we're back in real time, half an hour later.
Yep.
And the
That's real
Wagons
time.
are rolling through the gateway, and then the Aes Sedai and the warders, and, everybody.
Yeah, so literally it's like pages and pages
Oh.
of people coming through the gateway.
Brett, the Guy Shine
Yeah.
are still naked.
Oh, butts
They're
everywhere. Okay.
naked.
Yeah.
Not just butts, Brett.
Oh, yeah, boobs too.
And willies.
And willies and wangs.
Everything.
Oh, man, okay.
Flopping out all over the place.
Jeez. And it's hot, so people are like sweaty.
It makes Perrin very uncomfortable. He hates it.
Anyway, so the Mayanners are bringing up the rear guard, right? Which is a big honor.
Sure.
But not technically the rear guard because...
Rand and his little entourage get to come through next.
It's so funny, too, because it's like, oh, Rand is last. Well, Rand and Min, and Amis, and Cerelia, and Nandera, and Sulin, and like a bunch of maidens. So it's like it always keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah. All right. So Rand rides up next to Perrin and studies him for a minute, and then is like, I trust you.
Yeah.
And he says the same to Min and Loyal, and then he's like, I don't get to trust a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's a big compliment.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of weird vibe Rand's giving off right now.
Yeah, kind of. He's acting a little weird.
Yeah.
He's a little off, and Perrin thinks his scent was all jumbled enough for 2 men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I always like to point out that we've gotten Rand's perspective of like how he thinks he's acting. But then like when you take a look at Rand's actions from another person's point of view, like Rand's acting like a freaking crazy guy.
Yeah, but he has been for a very long time.
That's my point. It's like on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy is he?
Like, let's head back to In the Mountains of Mist at the beginning of book 3.
Yeah.
He was acting crazy then, too.
I know.
And when he was in Ruidian with...
I know that. I know he's acting crazy.
When Rand was in Ruidian with Matt...
Yeah.
And he was, like, laughing like crazy.
And then he, like, can't stop laughing.
And
or
Matt
in tear when he almost
kept
bleeds
thinking,
out. Yeah.
Oh, I hope he's not crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people have been thinking, I hope he's not crazy for a very long time.
Exactly. I just like to point that out. It's like, he's not doing so good. And he's not really hiding it as much as he sometimes thinks that he hides it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, good. They didn't notice I was talking a loose Theron in my head.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, everybody did.
Yeah.
Everyone noticed. All right. So now, let's get to, like, some actual things. It's going to be a while.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. Right away, something kind of happens.
Okay.
So one of the Ashermen calls out to the southwest, and then a person pops up.
Yeah, we get a new name for an Ashaman.
Ooh.
Narishma.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
How am I supposed to remember that?
Well, come on.
It's the exact same as every other name.
It's kind of like the Shiva, only different.
And kind of like Nandera, but different.
Exactly. There you go. Easy peasy. Just combine Nandera and the Shiva. You got Narishma. Easy.
Gosh. Okay. Nope.
Anyways.
Not that one. Anyway, okay, so a person pops up maybe about a mile away. Perrin thinks it looks like a wise one, and she starts running.
Yes.
And then he thinks about how typically a wise one is still considered a wise one, even if she's a Shido. So they're like, oh, is this a Shido wise one?
Yeah, like what's
Because,
actually going on?
You know, things at Dumais Wells might have changed, but here, like, maybe not. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Well, and it's not immediately clear from the writing which way or which direction the wise one is running. But then, like, very soon we find out that she's running towards Rand.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
also didn't even really get that this wise one wasn't a part of their procession
Okay, yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a little
it's a
confusing. Yeah. And they just think, oh, the wise one's running, but it's like she's coming to them.
to us.
Yeah.
All right, so suddenly everyone is all super on edge, and Perrin watches the wise ones as they break off into their own little group to decide how this will be handled. And then very quickly, 2 wise ones are chosen to go and meet the newcomer, and so they run off to do that.
Yeah, so
Are these
Taran
people
and
we know?
Kosane. No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I was
and
like-
we really don't need to know.
I was like, I don't know these names, and I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So now the 3 wise ones all meet and talk for a minute, and then they all start running back towards us?
Yeah, so the 2 went out to meet the 1, and then they're all coming back together now to
All right.
Rand and his group on the hill.
And they go straight to Cerealia.
Yeah, not to Rand.
No.
They don't want to talk to Rand. They want to talk to Cerealia.
You know what? And I get it.
Yeah.
So they talk amongst themselves and then turn and stare at Rand and wait.
Because it's like, come here, Rand. It's your turn.
Right. And then Rand's like, ugh, Karn. But then he swings down from his horse, helps Min down, and then he's followed by Perrin, Loyal, and Aram.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? This might not concern you.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
Min can just sit on her horse.
Yeah.
Here.
Sure.
Rand doesn't have to.
But here's the thing. We're in Perrin's perspective, and if we want to hear this conversation, Perrin's
Right.
got to go and see what's going on.
Okay.
Plus, he's very concerned about
He's very
Fael.
concerned.
And you know what's funny is it's not just like Rand and Min and Loyal and Aram. It's
And
also...
Perrin.
Yeah, and Perrin. It's also Ruark and Gaul and Nandera and Sulin and then a bunch of maidens.
Right.
So it's like we always get these names of like everybody's going to go and see this meeting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it turns out that Bear and the wise ones in Cairhien decided to set watches all around Cairhien for whichever way Rand might be coming back.
Right.
So this is one of theirs, like the good guys, basically, the good guys, wise ones, who's coming to check in with them.
Okay. So then we get the bad news.
Yes.
So there's trouble in the Aiel tents because, oh my goodness, rumors about where Rand has gone
Yep.
has just
It's blown up.
spiraled everybody.
Yeah, it's not good. It's like, oh, he went to the White Tower with the Aes Sedai, he's been in the need of the Amyrlin seat, all that stuff. And nobody knows the truth, and the issue is that the people who do know the truth aren't saying anything because that would almost be worse to say, yeah, the Karn got kidnapped. And, like, he's being held hostage by the Tower Aes Sedai. Like, that would be a bad thing to say.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. So we have some other bad news. So apparently the bleakness is back in, like, full force right now. So there's 1,000 or more Aiel who are throwing their spears down every single day.
Right.
So that's a lot. And some are probably going to the Shido because they're kind of like the outside group right now, but they're growing and growing. And then we've got some Aiel saying that the true Karn would never give himself over to the Aes Sedai. So some are saying, like, if he did go, it wasn't willingly. And we kind of get a couple of names of clan chiefs on how they're reacting.
I did recognize some of these
Yes.
names.
So these are all clan chiefs of clans. So we're talking like big factions
These
of
are all
Aiel.
the ones that we were waiting on
Yes.
in
Yeah. To see if they would join.
Ruidian. Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
So we've got basically one faction, one clan of Aiel saying that, yeah, we're going to go to Tar Valon to fight the Aes Sedai, right? So some are like on board, let's save Rand. Some are saying, nope, Rand betrayed us, and we're going back to the Waste, but not before we kill Rand.
Right.
If that turns out to be the
Sure.
truth. And then we've got some who are like, we're going to wait, but they're listening to all the rumors. So it's still back in that, like, okay, does Rand really have full control of the Aiel? And that's what Perrin starts thinking about, like, this is going to be a catastrophe if Rand can't come back and be like, I'm still here, I'm still the guy, and the Aes Sedai aren't controlling me.
Right.
So that's kind of like the predicament that Rand is in right now.
Got it.
Okay.
And now the extra bad news right now is that Rand showing up here today with Aes Sedai
Yeah.
looks terrible.
Yes, so now it's like, okay, even if you're going to say that you're not, like, under their control, it looks like...
It looks like you're under their control. Or
It
you're
looks like
working with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like bad optics.
Bad.
Yeah.
So at this moment, Rand whips his head around and says, you were told to stay in the wagon and told not to touch the One Power without permission, and you listened to what was said here, and you will learn that I mean what I say.
Yes.
And this is because Karuna and Bera and Alana have wandered up to this meeting.
Oh, yeah, this is actually hilarious.
And Perrin's like, oh my god, how far are they going to try to push their boundaries here?
Yeah, well, they're going to keep pushing forever. Literally forever, for always.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop at anything.
I think Rand handles this well.
He does. But it's like the audacity, and then it gets
The
worse.
audacity of this bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But Rand ignores them completely
Yeah.
and turns back to what's happening here.
Yeah.
So he asks if Colivir has been crowned, And Cerelia confirms that, yep, she thinks she's queen now.
Yep.
And Cerelia keeps her attention on the sisters.
Yeah, because we kind of get this whole thing, like, Cerelia the entire time is just, like, staring daggers at the Aes Sedai because they're clearly stepping out of line.
Yeah, and they're under her, like, as the Wise One's control.
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
going to have to teach him a lesson
Yeah,
because
she
they're
will.
stepping out of line.
How many laps naked?
Oh, yeah.
How many holes?
Oh, yeah.
How many holes dug without
Exactly.
the power?
There
This
you
is
go.
going to be excellent.
It's a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so against them. I'm so against them.
Like
They're
the Aes Sedai?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, the audacity.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I don't even know what else to say.
I know.
It's so
and
terrible.
Then Perrin has a bit of an internal freak out because Colavir has already murdered some people.
Yeah.
And then maybe she'll go after Fael for being connected to Rand through Perrin.
Yeah, so he's going on his internal freak out because he's like, there's no time. We got to get back. I got to see if my wife's still alive.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Fair.
This is also the setup where he's thinking, like, Fael will be fine because Ban and Chiad are there to keep her safe. Which is a whole nother issue.
That is a whole nother issue.
Yeah,
and
later on.
also, Fael doesn't need Bane and Chiad to keep her safe.
Yes,
Because
but
if Colavir wants her dead,
it's not going to
Bane
help.
and Chiad
Yeah, it's not
aren't
going
going
to
to help.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're 100% accurate. And even Perrin, like, thinks it through, like, she's going to murder them through, like, I don't know, poison or,
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
exactly,
something.
yeah.
It's not just going to be like
Or a knife
Colavir
in the street.
herself
Yeah.
is going to go.
Yeah.
That's
No.
not how it works.
Rush in with a bunch of, like, guards to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so Karuna keeps trying to butt in to give some advice here.
Yeah.
And Rand ignores her and asks Cerelia about what Colavir is saying about him and, if she's harmed Berylane.
Yes.
And Perrin, at this point, starts irritating me.
Sure.
She's like, why isn't he asking about Fael?
Who cares about Berylane, the woman who's in charge of Cairhien right now?
Right.
What about my wife?
Yeah, and I was like, you idiot, this is why. Why is he not asking about Fael? Because Fael isn't in charge of this place right now.
Yeah, and, like, she's not... On the scale of the Dragon Reborn and the world...
Yeah.
Okay.
I do feel for Perrin.
I'm gonna say it. Fael's not that important
No,
right
she's
now.
not.
Yeah.
Nope.
I feel bad about it.
No,
But it's like...
and, like, to be fair, you literally left her to go die.
Sure, that's true, too.
That was literally your mission.
Yeah.
You 100% didn't think you were coming back.
Which is, yeah, that's how it... And you guys didn't really make up before
And
that
now
happened.
you're flipping out that she might be dead, even though you just went to go kill yourself.
Sure.
On a nothing mission that you didn't even actually really help very much with.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I get what you're saying.
I like that he went.
Yep. He had to
Sticking
go.
up for
He
his
had to
buddy.
go.
He had
Yep.
to go. I just wish he played a little bit more of a
Did
part
he actually...
in the rescue.
Yeah, did he actually do anything?
No.
I don't know.
Nothing,
It's
no.
hard to say. We could speculate, but we don't need to speculate right now. Okay.
Okay.
We can save that conversation for later.
Okay, fine. So we learn that Berylane is fine, and Colavir is saying that Rand has gone to Camelin or maybe Tyr, but everyone must remember that Rand is the Dragon Reborn and must be obeyed, and that Rand will return and confirm her on the throne.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like saving her tail a little bit, I think.
She's using the authority of the Dragon
Of
Reborn
Rand,
by
yeah.
saying, like, Rand wants me to be queen, and
Yeah.
he'll confirm it because she's been promised by the Aes Sedai.
That Rand will be out of the equation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that was a whole entire setup, so she's just going off of what they were saying,
Right.
and it looked like it worked properly until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
So now Rand asks about other things happening in the city. He wants to know if there are other strange things that have been happening, because he even considers, like, bubbles of evil or something like that happening.
Yeah, which have been happening, it seems. He's trying to get information out of this wise one, and he's like, hey, what would wetlanders be talking about that you might not care about?
And they're like,
but
who
he's
cares?
actually, yeah, and it's like, I don't care about wetlanders, but he's trying to get, like, other information. So that's when it's like, there are apparently seeming to be bubbles of evil popping up, and, like, people are dying, weird stuff's happening.
Maybe.
But we do get the important business about the rebels.
Yes. So 3 days ago, Caroline, Damodred, and Toram Riotin,
Nailing it, yep, we know these people.
sure, approached the city and called Colavir out for being a usurper and, like, a murderer.
Yep.
But they're sitting in a camp south of the city and not actually really doing anything about this.
Yeah, so if you remember, so the House Damodred and House Riotin, those were the two houses that went off into, like, the countryside of Cairhien to rebel against Rand when he first popped up. But now they're coming back and saying Colavir is also a usurper, so they also don't want her to be queen.
Okay.
Which is kind of a big deal.
Now, how is this Caroline related to Moraine?
Same house.
That's
probably
in some way.
Cousin, right?
Okay.
That's how it works in houses, is everybody's cousins.
And Riotin, that was the king, right? Oh, no, that was Galadriel. Oh, Riotin.
Okay.
Nope, not Galadriel. What is it? It says with a G, right? I just had a lot of thoughts. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a lot in one sentence.
Riotin, though, right?
Yes.
Was the king?
So Galdrian Riotin was the king of Cairhien, who totally got assassinated by Tom.
Right.
Right? Definitely, sort of, maybe, but definitely did.
Yeah.
And then Barthanes Damodred was the dark friend who got ripped apart, much the same way that Herod Fell got ripped apart.
Oh, yeah, I was actually going to say that.
Yeah.
Because someone in our Discord, I wish I had their name written down, I noted that,
body torn apart.
Body torn apart.
There you go. Okay.
By a golem.
Okay.
Which isn't the same as a golem?
Not technically, no.
Cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
We
that.
actually don't know what a golem is yet.
Okay.
We know that it's shadow spawn, but we don't know anything else.
Tears bodies apart.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so these guys are out in the countryside, not doing much.
But yeah, so they're right south of the city now.
And some other tyrants. No.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Join them?
Oh yeah.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah. Okay, so Darlin Cisnera. Darlin is the guy who was rebelling against Rand in Tyr. Okay? So he was rebelling in Tyr. As soon as Rand took Tyr, Darlin was like, nope, I don't like this. And Rand actually has a measure of respect for Darlin because he immediately rebelled against Rand because he didn't like it. He wasn't one of those, like, suck-ups.
Wishy-washy guys.
Exactly. And also, we're pretty sure that Darlin is the guy who Matt cracked in the head during the Tyr battle.
Okay.
Okay, but anyways. But, so Darlin, from Tyr, has joined the rebellion in Cairhien.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about the rebellion. So
it's a party.
It's just a party,
It's a party.
celebrating that Rand's gone.
Yeah, it's a party.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
This isn't really usurping Colavir, I don't think.
No, they're just like shouting out to the city and be like, we don't like her either.
Yeah.
So, but they're doing something.
Feasting and drinking.
Yeah, they are.
That's about it.
But yeah, okay.
All right. Thanks for that recap that
Yeah.
I definitely paid attention to and remember forever.
The two rebellions has become essentially one rebellion.
It's easier to deal with.
There you go.
I'm fine with that.
Got to go march in there and clean them all up.
I don't really care about them.
Well, that's what the IL want. But Rand's like, no.
I know. I know. All right, so the wise ones say that there's about 10,000 rebels out in that camp, which is like, whoa, okay.
But
they
actually
can
not
be
really.
dealt with easily.
Yeah, because they're like, we can go up there, mop up the mess, and it's all good.
Yeah.
But Rand
what do you
says
mean
no.
not really? There's more than that?
Well, 10,000 sounds like a lot, and typically would be, but like right now with all the Aiel, it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay. So Rand definitely doesn't want to do battle with them right now. He's got other things to worry about. And then the wise one, sort of offhandedly, says that there's Aes Sedai in the city.
Yes, there's a whole back and forth about this conversation.
And then Rand goes super tense about this. There's maybe 10 more there. They're all staying at that lady Amyrlin's place.
Yeah, that's the same place the Tower Aes Sedai were.
That's right.
Yep.
And so now there's some heated back and forth between the Aiel and Cerelia.
Yeah.
She's like, you didn't tell me this the second that I walked up? How dare you keep information from me?
Yeah, and then she was like, you told me to, cut it short.
She's like, oh my god, flustering and like definitely thinks she's in trouble, but then all the other Aiel think this is like hilarious.
Yeah. It's because Cerelia was like, being like cutting her off at certain places, but it's a whole like bunch of stuff in the middle of this chapter.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't really matter that much.
At all.
It's only the...
Except here's the thing.
Okay.
Perrin gets fed up.
Yeah.
With this.
He's
like,
know.
I am sick of this, playing around, my wife might be dead, I need to know,
Where's
one's even
my
asked,
wife?
Where's my wife? Oh, Return of John Mulaney. Where's my wife? But no, what Perrin actually says is, hey, listen up, lady. Is my wife Aiel okay?
Yeah.
And then the wise one's like, yes.
Yeah, probably,
yeah,
I guess.
So. And
Seems
calls
fine.
Perrin an interesting new nickname.
Yeah, kind of. We can dissect this and actually we can figure out what this means. Okay.
Something about
okay, so
Rand,
we know...
right? Kara Karn?
No, not no.
Like it's the car part of Kara Karn, isn't it?
Nope, it's not.
Say car?
Yeah, say Car, C-A-I-R. Cairhien is just C-A-R.
Oh.
Yeah. But we do know Al-Cair-Dal. Al''C-A-R.
Yeah.
And what is Al-Cair-Dal?
I don't know.
The Golden Bull.
Okay.
So
Golden Eyes.
Golden Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a whole explanation what it's like. And
no.
Cairhien is like Hill of the Golden Dawn.
Oh, Cairhien.
Yeah. Yeah, so the C-A-I-R part is like the golden part, and the S-E-I is eyes, basically.
Okay.
More or less. So It's like Golden Eyes.
Golden Eyes. I thought it was like...
Yeah, no.
Rand's buddy.
Yeah.
Second in command over here.
Nope.
I thought it was like a title.
Nope. Golden
Just
Eyes.
a nickety
Well,
name.
it is a title.
No, it's a nickety name.
Nickety name title. Golden Eyes.
Okay.
Cool.
The IEL do like people who can do things.
They do. Some people can do things others cannot.
That's what they say.
Yep.
Alright, so anyway, she's probably fine, and Perrin's not exactly satisfied with this, but then the conversation just kind of keeps going. There's more stuff between the wise ones, and then freaking Karuna
Well, and it's so funny because
tries to butt in again.
I know, but Perrin's like in the back, and he doesn't say anything until he's like, "Where's my wife?" And then he goes back to being silent for the rest of the time too. So it's like he's trying to cut in, but he's not really cutting in. It's kind of a comical bit. Like his thoughts are going.
Yeah, he
at full
doesn't
speed,
think this is funny.
but he's not actually
he is
speaking
not in
up.
a good place right now.
Well, it's like the last chapter when he's like, "I gotta get a word in with Rand," and then just like sits and watches the entire conversation happen. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to Karuna trying to bully her way into this conversation. It's so funny because she goes so hard at Rand.
The arrogance.
Oh yeah, you gotta say okay.
Surprising. You want me to say the
I want you to say it because it's so funny.
Okay, so she tells Rand that the situation here is delicate and complex beyond your little teeny boy brain imagining.
Oh yeah.
That's what she says.
That is what she says.
And so Karuna, Bera, and Alana, but Alana's the afterthought, will all accompany Rand into the city.
Yep.
And that's an order.
That has to happen.
It has to, because he must let the Aes Sedai guide him, or one wrong move from him and Cairhien will end in disaster.
And it gets worse.
He'll do incalculable damage.
Incalculable.
Incalculable.
Right?
Yeah, incalculable damage. I know what that means.
Yeah.
We can't calculate how much damage you can do.
There's going to be so much.
I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. Okay, there's going to be so much damage because you know almost nothing because you're just a puny boy.
You don't know anything, you idiot. Yeah, and then she's like, that worked perfectly.
And then Perrin is bracing for Rand to blow up.
Oh, yeah, because, like, this guy is crazy already, and you're going to go
Rand
and do this.
He does something that I do sometimes in my classroom.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Ignore it all?
Planned ignoring.
Okay.
It is. It has a name. That's what we do sometimes.
Love it.
We don't give attention to behaviors we don't want. Oh my goodness. In very specific situations, it works quite well.
Yeah.
Here, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect
well, it's kind of funny. Well, because like
it.
the Aes Sedai are not at all used to being in a situation where they're
not being consulted.
And they don't have any authority. Like usually they have authority just by being Aes Sedai, and now they have none. And their like ways of dealing with that, they don't have any alternate ways of dealing with this.
No.
Like Moraine literally took her books to figure out how to deal with
Pander
Rand.
to Rand, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And even that, you could argue that she didn't do a great job.
No, it took her a long time.
Yeah. And even when she was like kind of doing okay, it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know, I get it. But this is just hilarious.
Yeah. Also, Alana's reaction, because she's like biting her lip, trying not to smile. And it might be that thing where she also hates that Karuna is trying to tell her warder what to do.
Oh, 100%.
Which is also like, Alana, this isn't your warder. Like
now
it is,
listen,
but
this situation is a little complex, okay?
Little bit.
So Rand just completely ignores him and turns back to Cerealia and tells her to take all the Aes Sedai to the tents and make sure people know that they're Aes Sedai and make sure that they are seen to be taking orders from the Wise Ones.
Yes.
Excellent.
Which might
This
work.
is actually a little bit better than planned ignoring because now there's a consequence.
Yeah. Yeah, and even, I mean, Cerealia thinks from the facial expressions and everything, like maybe this will work, but also maybe it won't.
I think it really depends on what you mean by will this work, or what Rand is thinking he's going to get out of this. Because if the intent is to get the Aes Sedai on board and trained and, jumping at his commands, no, it's not going to work.
Okay.
But if the idea is to show the Aiel that the Wise Ones and Rand have control of the Aes Sedai and not the other way around, then yeah, like the optics of it, I think...
Yeah.
That's probably more the direction Rand is going for, and that will work.
It's not an overnight fix, but yeah.
Yeah, it's something. And then, yeah, Alana thinks this is funny. Mm-hmm. Although she's going to be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, she's also terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't like fine. Alana for what her actions are. Okay.
I know. All right. So everyone starts moving off to deal with their tasks, and Aram says to Perrin, ooh, there's gonna be fighting.
Yeah, he's like eager for it.
So eager about it.
Yep.
I'm concerned for this fella.
Okay.
He's going off the deep end a little. All he wants to do is hurt people.
Yeah.
It's bad news bears.
Okay.
For Aram.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not good, but,
Nope. It's terrible.
Okay.
So now Loyal says, of course there's not going to be fighting, right, Perrin? And Perrin has no idea.
Perrin doesn't know anything. Oh, look, Perrin doesn't know things again. But,
right. And
but
then,
wait.
Out of nowhere, freaking Gaul just shows up, starts complaining about how women are so complex.
They are, and he's got a problem.
A huge problem. And now, Gaul, now's the time? What's happening right now?
Well, he just found out, literally right now, that they're here.
Oh, Bane and Chiad.
Yeah, Bane and Chiad. And he hasn't had time to talk to Perrin about his women problems.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so Chiad told Gull that she wouldn't lay a bridal wreath at his feet. She doesn't want to give up being a maiden.
Yep.
Which is fair.
Yeah,
fine.
That's fair.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But Gull doesn't think so.
No, because she had the audacity to tell him that, and you're not supposed to actually say that out loud.
Okay.
Yeah. But
she
also...
said she would take him for a lover, her and Bane both, but no more.
Yes. It's not going to go further.
No marriage.
But it can be lovers for Bane and Chiad.
Right. Now, Gaul goes on to say, as if I'm not good enough for a husband. I don't like Bane, but I would marry her to make Chiad happy. And if Chiad won't make a bridal wreath, she should stop trying to entice me by letting me see her sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny, but it's there's clearly some flirtation in the Aiel customs going on here.
Yeah.
So Gaul is kind of angry that Chiad is leading him on almost, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, if I'm not good enough to marry, then just let me go, but she's still roping him in.
Right.
So yeah. But it's kind of funny, because then we do get a little bit of what the customs for Aiel women are.
But I feel like we already knew this and talked about this because of the whole Avienda.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
They were telling Avienda to show Rand a little bit and then whatever.
Yeah, make sure that he sees you.
Right.
But then, Rand didn't know what the hell was going on.
And then even Avienda, when Rand would see her naked, sometimes she was like, oh my god, I actually don't want this.
Yeah.
And she would make a gateway and run away to Shanshan.
Women are so complex. And Aiel women are even more so, I guess.
Yeah.
And Gaul's feeling that right now, so.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But anyways, Perrin's what are you talking about?
Doesn't know what the hell is happening.
Yeah. Story of Perrin's life. He doesn't get it. Doesn't understand.
Yeah. Because turns out they've been here the whole time, and he just found out this morning.
Yes.
When you say the whole time, Bane and Chiad have been with their group?
They were at Dumai's Wells, yeah.
They literally left with the group.
Yep. They were at Dumai's Wells. They partook in the battle.
They didn't see each other.
Nope.
I guess if there's thousands of people...
There's a lot of Aiel there, so,
Okay.
They're all covered up, right?
I
with
suppose
shufas
so. But Perrin is what?
What? I thought they were protecting Fael.
It's been, what? A long time. 2 weeks or something?
Sure. Yeah. No, well... In Randland time, a week and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, though.
Because a week is 10 days, so it's a week and a half, maybe.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Perrin doesn't like this news.
No. Well, Perrin's freaking out because they're supposed to be protecting Fael, and now Fael is alone and helpless.
Helpless little lady.
Yeah, and that's why Gaul thinks that Perrin's telling some sort of weird wetlander joke, because he's well, what are you talking about protecting Fael? Because, Fael's out of her short skirts, she's not a child.
Yeah.
And Perrin's I know she's not a child, but, I don't know, she might get assassinated.
Right.
And it's okay, Perrin, that could happen anyways.
Yeah.
We get it, your wife might be dead.
Gosh. Okay, so Loyal tries to comfort Perrin. Fael's gonna be okay. you can't always protect her. You're Taviran. The pattern will use you for its purpose. And then Perrin is like, burn the pattern.
Yeah.
Make it all burn if it keeps her safe. And this is not a good thing to say.
Yeah.
People don't like this at all.
No.
Don't yell that out.
Loyal and Gall were like, whoa, man, calm down a little bit. Don't burn the pattern.
Yeah.
That's bad. We're all part of the pattern.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because it's an earlier callback in the chapter when Perrin is actually thinking about people scheming for their own means up until the day after the last battle starts. Basically implying like bad people are going to scheme for their own selfish purposes even if the world is ending.
Yeah.
And then Perrin thinks, how am I different if I'm willing to, say F the last battle if it keeps Fael safe?
But that's how he feels.
Yeah.
Can't fight your feels.
Yep. It just means you're the same as a terrible person, Perrin. You're just the worst.
Or just like a regular person.
You're a regular, terrible person, just like the rest of us. That's how it works.
All right. Well, that's the end of this chapter, and we're going to ride on into Cairhien.
Yeah, I guess that's the next move. Very slowly.
So, chapter 4, into Cairhien, and the chapter symbol is the rising sun.
Because we're going
into Cairhien.
Into Cairhien.
We get it, man.
Yeah.
So, continuing with our Perrin perspective, and at this point in the book,
Sure.
I've had 3 full, nothing Perrin perspectives.
Sure.
And not that I don't love being in his wildly anxious mind. It reminds me a lot of being in my own anxious mind.
It's like, I don't want to read about that.
No,
I have to live with that every day.
It doesn't do anything for me.
It's a lot worse with you because you have to like sit on this for a week.
I know.
It's
been a little while,
in reality, you could totally bust through these
on.
chapters. Yeah.
I know. That's true. Because I was like, no, 4 in a row?
Don't worry. Next chapter, we're going to get maybe through the doors. I don't know.
Yeah. As long as something doesn't stop that. But then that might be interesting.
True.
Unless it's like somebody...
They got to go back outside to the courtyard.
Somebody stops them to talk to them about more things that have happened.
Right? Fill me in on the past, 10 days-ish.
More things.
It's been a lot of days.
And I mean, important, yes. This was hard for me.
I understand that. I get that. I feel that.
Okay.
You'll be okay.
Okay, here we go. Perrin perspective, the group starts to march to Cairhien because they're still a ways off, a couple miles or something, right?
Yeah.
And so it takes them some time to get there, and they do this half riding, half walking thing. Perrin is losing his ever-loving mind.
Yep.
He wants to destroy horses to get there.
Yep.
Remember when he didn't want to ride the horses into battle because he cared about them?
Yeah.
Now
he's alive, though.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He wants to murder the horses
to
get to Cairhien.
Except he needs to keep Fael's horse, whose name is Swallow, of course, alive until he gets to Cairhien, because if he can get the horse there, then that means Fael will be okay. But that's not how it works.
Turns out, logical Perrin is wildly superstitious.
Yes.
And very, very anxious.
Yes. That's why he keeps all of his feelings bottled up inside.
Because when he lets them out, this happens.
Where's my wife?
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
All right. So Rand seems lost in his own thoughts, except that he always has a hand to catch Min if she stumbles. And I mean, I don't know. Why is Min so all of a sudden delicate and fragile? What's happening?
This is from Perrin's perspective, though. Unreliable narrator much. I
know.
I think they're just walking together.
They've been through something traumatic together.
Absolutely. And they're clinging on to each other because they both went through something very traumatic.
Right.
This isn't a Rand this is as much Min protecting Rand and helping Rand, but it's in Perrin's eyes. Perrin's not the most reliable guy for information.
I appreciate you saying that, because I was kind of starting to get annoyed with this writing about fragile Min.
Yeah, no, I don't. I 100% don't believe that Min's like the fragile, ooh, I stumbled and Rand caught me. Okay. That's not what's happening here.
All right. So everyone's mood seems to be getting worse and worse as they get closer, because nobody really knows what to expect with Rand returning to the city. So the Aiel are all out scouting to make sure there's no traps or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Perrin finally spots Chiad, and he's just
he's trying to will her to come back so he can talk to her.
Staring daggers at her. Because what's he going to do?
You know what he's going to
say?
Yell
at her for leaving?
He's going to say, Where's my wife?
You didn't follow orders.
Yeah.
Let's say the same thing that he said to the Aes Sedai,
Right.
who also didn't care for what he had to say.
And it's like, did they have orders to stay and protect Fael? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways, this is a long journey.
Yeah.
And you're not the only one who's annoyed with Perrin.
Okay, so they have to take 4 stops on their march.
Yep.
And each time Min tries to reassure him that Fael will be okay. So now, this isn't just in his head.
Nope.
Now
it's
it's all coming out. He's very concerned.
Yes. He's given off the vibe to other people.
He's almost full panic attack.
Yes.
So now we've shifted from Eeyore Perrin to Piglet Perrin.
Yes.
Piglet is high anxiety.
And everyone's like, Piglet, it's going to be okay.
Chill.
It's like, it's not going to be okay, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good Piglet.
Thank you. They've been working on it.
Oh my gosh. So if anyone doesn't know Winnie the Pooh characters,
Yeah.
Piglet's the anxious one.
Very anxious.
And Matt's Tigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now, even Min is getting annoyed with Perrin. Loyal tries to remind him. She was a hunter for the horn, man.
Yeah.
She's not exactly incapable of defending herself. And then Loyal accidentally admits that he can't wait to get married to Aerith.
Yeah.
And then immediately backtracks.
He's like, your Tavernus made me say that.
Yeah. Let me tell you, though, Brett.
What?
Who does this remind you of in another book series where a giant continuously says things that he wishes he didn't say?
Oh, good reference.
Thank you.
Hagrid says that.
Hagrid.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that either.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole,
never
the
meant
fluffy,
to tell you that.
the
Yeah.
fluffy business
It
with
is
the dog.
fluffy business with
Okay,
the
so
dog.
Loyal is Hagrid, basically.
In this moment.
I love it. Okay, that's a good one.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay.
And now here's the thing. I can't have a drink with you.
No, it's just going to be me drinking because you're getting teeth pulled out of your head.
I'm getting my wisdom teeth out tomorrow, and I will be under sedation, so I can't
Yeah.
drink tonight. So,
That doesn't mean that I can't.
no, that's why I did it. I did this for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm using the beacons are lit shot glass.
Oh, nice.
So it's not a Harry Potter one,
No.
but that's okay. And I'm not getting up.
And to be fair, when I said the king's name, I said Galadriel, and then you let me know later in a break that was actually a Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's in my head somewhere.
That's good.
Isn't
You're
that interesting?
learning. Yes, it is.
Wrong series.
That's okay. You're
Shot for
forgiven.
it.
You know what? Galadriel is basically Galadriel. It's fine.
Not even.
Not even close. Cheers? What do I do? How do I...
I have a tea. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, but carrying on, they carry on.
Yeah.
Perrin keeps thinking about Fael. They keep traveling. We get some description of the countryside.
It's getting hotter. It's hot.
It's hot here. Everything's dying.
You know, we make jokes about this, but like, if we bring it to the seriousness of this, the
Yeah.
land is literally dying.
Yeah.
And it's like the farm animals are dying, the plant life and vegetation is all dying. It's
We should
not
probably find that cloud bowl.
Cloud
that
bowl.
Probably or probably not affects the weather.
good. Yes.
May or may not.
Maybe, kind of, sort of. Something needs to happen. It's supposed to be
Something
winter.
needs to happen. I told you they have to go to the Blight. That's how they fixed the weather last time. They went to the Eye of the World.
Okay.
When they rode out of it,
yeah.
the weather was fixed.
Sort of.
Nope,
I
it
get
was.
It. Okay.
That's how I read it.
It wasn't to this degree, and you're not wrong.
It might have gotten there if they didn't go and battle a couple Forsakens.
Yep.
And then ride out of there, and there were already flowers blooming.
That's true. That's true.
Because
Okay.
it was winter for too
Slightly
long.
better. So, but yeah, it's supposed to be winter.
I told you, that's how we do it.
There we go. Okay.
That's what Robert Jordan set up in book 1.
That's true. So there's more marching.
Yeah.
There's farms. There's people.
Yeah.
Some people are looking at the mini army that's marching by.
Right.
And then finally,
We get within sight of Cairhien.
we're there. Sort
Alright.
of.
So we stop to get a look around the city, and there's nothing really to take notice.
Yeah. There's no like armies waiting. There's no like scouts running and being like, oh, there's an army coming.
Nope, nothing
It's just
like that.
not a lot's happening.
Yeah, and now, though, above the city, we have Rand's 2 banners.
Yeah.
And there's a new one flying, too.
Yeah, which is Colavir's banner, which is a silver diamond on a field checked yellow and red.
I have to say, this is the ugliest banner I have ever heard described.
Ugh, rude.
Seriously.
Okay.
That sounds so ugly.
Yeah, well.
Like, checked means like it looks like a checkers board, but instead of black, there's yellow, right?
Yeah.
Like red and yellow.
Okay. So
with a silver diamond.
Here's the thing about banners.
Just like this looks like
banners
the
are supposed to stand out because they're used for like military purposes a lot of the time.
Ugly.
So it's like, yep, that's the bad guys, or that's my guys.
I see you for what you truly are, and that is ugly. That's a good one, right?
You know, she is the man.
No, Colavir is not the man. Yeah, clearly it's Amanda Bynes.
Right, she's gonna walk in and be like, Colavir, what's up?
Yeah.
All right.
Dressed as her brother.
Channing Tatum's gonna be in there. It's gonna be great.
That makes the movie better.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fantastic.
Oh my God, that was so random. That's so bad. Okay. That's also the worst impression I think I've ever done.
I think you nailed it. It's like if you watch the movie, that's pretty spot on. That's actually pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so we got Dobrain who comments on some stuff because he was hoping that the Isle were wrong about Colavir actually taking the city.
Yeah.
But since her banner's there, he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. She took the throne. And he gives us some important information because he is Cairhien, and he says it's likely that she's doing the traditional Cairhien celebration of the coronation festival. So he warns Rand, and this is important, that
it's Coronation Day.
Okay, yeah. The commoners might riot if they dislike what Rand does, because this is where they have basically like celebrations and coin and gifts and all this stuff going on.
Right, because new ruler is most popular in like their first few weeks or whatever.
So it kind of answers the question, like, why doesn't Rand just like, jump in there and go kill Colavir or whatever, or just displace her? But it's because the city might riot.
Like, maybe. We'll see, because I
Possibly.
think he should just go in and displace her.
And we're going to see what happens.
Well, we know that there's a viewing about her, isn't there?
Well, yeah, technically. But the thing about Min's viewing is they're not time-bound.
No. But it means that she's going to meet an end.
At some point.
By hanging.
At some point.
I forgot that happened, though.
Yeah, that was a viewing, but it's like we don't know,
point.
and that's the thing.
Still,
okay.
That's important to keep in mind, Brett.
Is that what's going to happen in this book? The entire thing is all about Colavir versus Rand showdown?
No,
I don't know.
Next chapter, she's on a gallows.
Gone!
No, just kidding. Except, like, probably. Okay. Honestly, get the heck out.
Yeah. No, I get that. So.
All right. So, now, Rand tells one of the Ashaman.
Yeah, so he says Flynn.
Okay.
Flynn, stay here with the soldiers.
Okay. And then he starts to tell Min to stay back, but she tells him to shove it. And then Loyal has severe FOMO.
Yes.
He fears missing out like crazy.
Yeah.
I need to be here. Every time you do anything interesting, I'm never there, and I need to know for my book, okay?
It's the book. I gotta know.
For the ages.
Yes.
And so it sort of seems like Rand's plan is just to, like, go in by himself, but then Deshiva speaks up.
Yeah.
And is like, okay, that's crazy.
And coming from a crazy guy, like, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
All it takes is one man with a bow or a knife, and you not seeing them in time, you gotta send at least one of us Ashaman in to do what needs to be done. Yes.
So Deshiva's kind of like, and I get this, like, I'm kind of on Deshiva's side here, because he's saying, send one of us guys in, or like all of us, or some of us.
Gateway into the palace.
Gateway in, go and assassinate her, do whatever you gotta do, and it's like, boom, done. What are we standing around talking about?
And Rand's like, no, we're doing things my way.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to die unless it can be avoided, and that's not really the Ashaman way.
No, it's kind of like go in and kill everyone you need to get the results you want. And I'm kind of on the Ashaman side.
Really? No, I'm not for this.
But it's like Colavir totally was like in this big scheme with the Tower Aes Sedai, and she's gonna get what's coming to her. Let's just bamf in there and go.
But the amount of people who don't need to die.
No, I get that. And Rand already has had a bunch of people die on his conscience.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want people...
He's not doing so well with that.
Yeah, and if you're going to conquer cities, it's better to be like, well, I'm not going to murder all the people. It's a better for optics.
Right.
It's an optics thing again. Okay.
And also, Rand doesn't actually just want innocent people to die.
That's true, because he's a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, Perrin is freaking done waiting. So he just, heels Stepper and starts for the city and Bail, and he's like, okay, I'm getting the horse there, I'm gonna make it, this is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He's not waiting for the rest to make a decision. The others end up coming along and make their way at a quick walk. because if they come galloping in, that'll draw more attention to them.
Yeah, so just like visually, we're still like maybe about a mile or so away from the city, and we don't actually get how many people are coming along on this trip for quite a while. Like a number of pages. Right near the end is when we find out actually how many there are. Mm-hmm. But we get that there's about a dozen or so men on horses, and then about 36 maidens. So it's about 50 people.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but it's not like a huge army.
Group,
yeah,
comparatively.
It's an interesting one for sure.
So they keep on this road. They reach the new Foregate area around the outskirts of the city, and everyone's just keeping to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's really paying that much attention. Like, no, they get some looks.
We don't have banners flying. We don't have a huge thing. They're not announcing themselves. It's just...
Yeah, everyone's dressed pretty regularly.
Yeah, even Rand.
We
get another mention of his plain old coat.
Plain old dumb coat because he couldn't find anything fancier.
Yeah.
Or he was searching for something else.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the small group makes it through the Foregate to the Jengai gates. And there's a few guards lounging around, but they just kind of walk on in. Yeah,
and we have Dobrain commenting for us, the reader.
That's right.
And he says, the reason why they let us in is because it's festival time, because the coronation, and so anyone can come in.
The city. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of like in Andor, how they have the Queen's Blessing, where it's like, even if you're a criminal and you have a warrant out for your arrest, they're not going to take you. Same idea right here in Cairhien.
Yeah. So they start heading through the city, and Perrin notes that it doesn't really seem like a coronation festival because there's no real signs of celebrating or anything.
No one's partying.
Compared to the last celebration he just saw in Cairhien.
Oh, yeah. They got crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. And now it's like nobody's doing anything.
And now there's like a hush over the city.
Yeah.
Because things are just kind of relaxed. People are getting some money, getting some food.
Well, and there might be like some political undertones going on here, too.
That, too.
Like, probably that might be more than...
That's a thing. So now we get further into the city. We're going up to the royal palace. Perrin's still thinking about Bail. Don't forget about that.
Yep.
They get to the guards at the gate, and we finally get a bit of a number here.
And we can kind of figure out who's here. So we've got Dobrain and Havien Norel. So we got like the two captains of the Cairhien army and the manor.
For a long time, I did not know who Havien was.
Yeah, Havien Norel. That's the manor main dude.
Okay, right.
Okay. Then we've got Rand, Perrin, Aram, and Min. And then we've got the 8 Ashaman. So it seems like only Flynn stayed behind with the soldiers and the army. And so we've got the 7 of the ones that Rand chose, and then Deshiva, the full Ashaman.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got like the 36 maidens. Maybe Bane and Chiat are here. We're not really sure. And Loyal.
Right, okay. So now we're walking up, and the maidens veil themselves, which puts everybody on edge, and then the Asherman just, like, wrap up everyone in air, and everyone's stuck in place. Like the guards of the palace.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing. That was the kind of like the spark, though, to it. So they walk up, and the 10 guards on duty are, like, eyeing them, and then it's one maiden who veils herself, and then the guards are like, oh shit. Something's gonna go down, and one of them like books it to go like sound an alarm, and that's when the Ashaman like frees all the guards.
I see, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
So it's the one maiden who slipped
Sets
up.
it off. Okay.
Yeah.
So now they just walk in. They continue their slow walk through the gates to the main courtyard, and
act normal.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no soldiers here. Only servants moving around. They even come to take their horses. And now this courtyard's pretty empty except for a handful of young men in the corner. Oh, no, wait.
That's not men. Whoa.
That's women wearing pants.
Only half of them. 4 out of 7 are women.
Yeah.
But yeah. But we actually saw the beginnings of this.
Yeah, we did.
Before. These are like the Cairhien noble people,
and
sort
the
of.
Aiel continue to hate it.
Yeah, because they're like doing the whole playing Aiel thing where they've got their own like... customs set up, their own Giotto system.
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't like it for the Aiel. I understand why they don't like it.
Yeah, they're imitating like the haircuts.
Stop copying me.
Yeah, well, we kind of get that half of the Aiel think like, oh, we need to teach them better.
Yeah.
And the other half is like, let's kill them.
Yes, basically.
Those are the two extremes.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting take where it's like they
it's also a really interesting thing that Robert Jordan is doing here, introducing how one culture's customs can influence the culture of another group.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like the Aiel conquered the Cairhien basically twice now in the Aiel War,
Yes.
and now, so the Cairhien, as like the, country who's being invaded, is picking up on traditions from their invaders.
Yes.
So it's kind of it's definitely a real thing that can happen too.
Yeah,
So
I think it's interesting.
yeah, no, he does a good job. So
now the Cairhien kind of swagger up to Rand and his party, and one of the women introduces herself and is like, "Oh hey, this is Salandi.
yeah, we know her.
She leads our society."
Yeah, so they have societies just like Aiel.
Okay.
Salanda, we know her.
Oh, Salanda. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
so she's one of the first named women that we see who was hitting on Rand when he
At the
first
party?
took over. No, not at the party. When he took Cairhien this time, that Colavir was sending to try to, like, seduce Rand.
Yes.
And then Salanda was the one he literally terrifies into leaving him alone.
Yeah, okay.
He, like, scares the shit out of her.
Yeah, on, like, that terrace.
Yes.
In the meeting break.
Yeah, because he's so sick of this happening, but she's, like, the named person we really kind of get first. And so she's, like, the leader of this society.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's when the woman says, "Oh, we didn't expect you to return so soon. Or like at all."
Right. And then Rand is like, "Yeah, I doubt anyone thought I would return so soon."
Yeah.
And then he tells them that none of them have any reason to be afraid of him.
Yes, and that's why he looks right at Salanda when he says it.
Oh.
Because he scared the shit out of her beforehand.
Right.
And that's why Perrin's confused when he's like, "Oh, it's weird that her fear smell fades when he looks at her and says, like, you don't have to be afraid of me."
And how did Rand pick up on the fact that she's scared?
Because Rand knows her, but Perrin, again, doesn't understand it.
Right, okay.
So
Rand asks where Colavir is right now, and they say that she's in the Grand Hall because it's the third sunset convocation.
And Dobrain, the narrator, steps in again, and he's like, "Oh, well, that means that Colavir has wasted no time in taking the throne, so it must be like the 9th day or whatever." So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's basically narrating for us that because Rand disappeared.
As soon as
Rand was gone, she's like, "Yo, I'm queen."
Yeah. All right. Now, this is where Salanda, what's her name?
Salanda?
Salanda?
I assume. It could be, but it's like...
Speaks up again, and she tells Rand, "We are ready to dance the blades for you."
Ooh, different from Dance the Spears.
Ooh.
What?
Well, that's really gonna really piss the Aiel off. You, like, stole their saying, and then made it about swords, which they hate.
Yes.
Like, this is the part where I'm on the Aiel side.
Yep.
Don't steal their sayings.
Yeah, it's not... There's, like, definitely some good points and really, really bad points.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No.
Yep. I get it. Perrin's got something to say, though.
Where's my wife?
Okay. And that's, like, the only... Because his internal dialogue is kind of going off, like, in a lot of directions.
Oh, yes.
A lot of the times. But the only things he outward says is, like, "Where's my wife?"
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh.
You want to know where she is?
Hey,
okay.
Perrin, she's with the queen in the Grand Hall."
Yeah, also, I mean, not the queen, just Colavir's.
Right.
She's a lady attendant.
She's a lady attendant. And this is apparently shocking news.
Well, to Perrin.
To Perrin. And Min's like, "Calm down. She probably has a good reason."
Yeah, but Perrin's like, why would she be a lady attendant for Queen Colavir? It doesn't make sense to me. So.
Yeah, and now one of the men in this group sort of whispers angrily, "We swore not to tell anyone. On water oath."
Again, stealing the Aiel thing.
God.
It's like, guys.
It's so cringy.
Water oath? That's
so
not...
gross.
No. There's reasons they have water oaths.
Yeah. And also, my question here is, why is Fail's position supposed to be a secret?
Yeah. Well, we don't know that that's the part that's supposed to be a secret, necessarily.
What else here would it be, though?
Well, okay. We're going to have to read and find out.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's just
like...
I'm
just speculating.
No, that's fair.
There
it's
literally hasn't been a single thing to actually speculate. The only thing, actually, that we probably should have talked about at the beginning was whether or not I believed that Fail was somehow hurt.
Oh, yeah,
throughout
if she
all
was
of
dead
this.
or not,
The
yeah.
problem is, at no point did I ever believe that anything had happened to Fail.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the question, I guess, is going to be, like, is it really the fact that she is a lady attendant? Like, because why is that? That couldn't be a secret, because if she's the lady attendant, like, other people would know that. That can't be the secret part.
It seems like it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Also, this whole group wasn't invited
Yeah.
to the Great Hall.
Well, nobody likes these idiots.
Yeah.
So, you know. And also, Perrin has a thought like, oh, it's not just these 7. There's hundreds of these idiots.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be a problem.
Okay. Well,
But, you know.
Anyway, so this is where Rand's like, all right, lead the way to the Grand Hall. And by the way, everyone, there will be no blades. I am here to see justice done to all who deserve it.
Aha.
And then
Yes.
Perrin isn't like, oh my god, what's about to happen here? This is a pretty big deal. He's like, oh, I really hope Fail does have a good reason of being Colavir's attendant.
Shoot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure she does. Probably self-preservation. Perrin,
Oh, that would make a lot of sense. So she doesn't get murdered.
right. Pretend to be on her freaking side
Yeah.
because Fail's no dummy.
Well, and that could be the literal secret they're trying to hold back. Not the fact that she is the lady, like a lady. It's like why she's a lady attendant.
Maybe.
That could be the secret.
Could be.
So, okay.
Seems like something is happening.
There's undercurrents, but at least
Yes.
Perrin won't have to deal with these idiots.
That's true. And
much
now,
longer,
here's the thing.
so.
That's the end of this chapter, and I am so excited to read on.
Yeah, maybe they'll get into the Grand Hall.
Maybe.
Well, maybe we'll see what happens there.
We'll see.
Unless they got to go back to the courtyard.
Unless there's something wrong with the horse that they have
No,
to tend to.
immediately. It's very urgent.
Yeah. I really hope that the Ashaman go a little crazy and Rand, like, I don't know. I feel like I've just been so bored.
You just need some action, yeah.
I really, really need some
It's like,
action.
hey, the Shiva, yeah,
Now,
blow
if
up that.
Colavir
blow something
invites
up.
Rand to, like, sit around a table and discuss politics, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, man. Well, here's the thing. I want to hear from you. How do you think Rand should handle this? So if it seems like we're going to go into the Grand Hall,
Yeah.
and Dobrain mentioned that since this is like the third sunset, whatever, all the people should be there in attendance.
Right.
So we should be walking into like a full
I have a feeling
Grand Hall of people.
what I've seen from Rand and how he deals with situations such as this
Okay.
is he resumes authority
Okay.
and takes power away from everyone.
So he's going to be like, you're not queen, idiot. I'm Randolph
Probably.
Thor.
What I'm picturing is him pulling some kind of move like before. Like we've seen the scene where the Aes Sedai are trying to pull an illusion and trying to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, no. He blows up the
Turntables.
illusion and he takes the power back and tells them what to do.
Okay.
Now, none of those things actually went, like, that well. And then he got kidnapped. So
okay, rethink that. Okay.
rethink it slightly, but I think that that's his move.
Okay.
That's always been his move, is he's going to walk in and just be like, I'm actually in charge here.
Yeah.
I'm the captain.
Not only can Rand channel, he's got
Yeah.
8 other Ashaman
Right,
who can
because-
channel.
Yeah, no one really seems to be very concerned. He just walked in. There was
Yeah.
no guard at all. Like, Colavir was not concerned about him coming back
Yeah.
at all.
Well, she had like confirmation from the Aes Sedai saying like,
Yeah.
we got him, he's gone,
Yeah.
we got this under control. So she is assuming that they
Yeah.
are correct.
I think that maybe Aes Sedai might be at this,
Interesting, like the 10 or so, 10
whatever
plus.
this is. Is it a party?
Yeah, it's a party.
Okay.
Seems to be.
Yeah, but there's some Ashaman who are going to
Crash the party.
put a stop to that real fast.
Party
If there's-
crashers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting. I actually don't know. I didn't look at the next chapter at all. Are we still with this situation? Because
Well-
I'm concerned we're going to flip over and get a bunch of recaps somewhere else.
It's called A Broken Crown.
Oh, okay. I hope that's Colavir.
It could be.
I really hope so.
There's a lot of crowns though, so we'll see.
Is it of swords?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Broken crown of swords.
Okay.
No. So now, before you have full-on panic attacks about your wife being dead, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Vince Lewick, and Margaret, with music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.